Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for education and technology only. Tonight, I'd like to share with you and to solve a critical issue for Wing Chun, which has been very confusing for past 60 years or more. And this is related to Hong Kong, okay? So the issue is about Wing Chun and Shao Lin Weng Chun. You always heard that people say that Wing Chun is derived from Shao Lin Weng Chun, or Shao Lin Weng Chun is the mother art of Wing Chun. And then you always also heard people saying that Wing Chun is Shao Lin Weng Chun. And then you heard about all kinds of story about this grandmaster, steal that grandmaster art, all kind of stuff. And then you also heard about some Europeans saying that Wing Chun is Weng Chun and all sort of stuff. For past 60 years, it is only create confusion. In Chinese, in Mandarin, it said 添乱. It is screwing up Chinese culture. It is screwing up Chinese martial art culture. And because of all this confusion, it turned to be like my grandmaster is more advanced than your grandmaster. So your grandmaster steal my grandmaster stuff. And then everybody, different parties have all their reasons and their legends and their hearsays. So who gets screwed? Chinese culture gets screwed. And then everybody compare, you know, this handshake of Wing Chun is the same with this handshake of the Shao Lin Weng Chun. You know, we are from the southern China. All these arts, we're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to work together to help each other, not get into this thing. My grandmaster is better than your grandmaster. It's like my father can beat your father, those kind of stuff. Or my art is better than your art, more superior. This is creating damaging for Chinese culture, Chinese martial art culture. So for past 60 years or more, can this thing solve? With all this argument and all those things, like religions? And you name names, like this grandmaster, that grandmaster, this from Red Boat, this whatever. It doesn't solve a thing. And you end up that still people believe on this, believe on that, and then create all kinds of mess. Again, who lost? Traditional Chinese martial art lost. And it turns brother against each other. This is not supposed to happen this way. Okay? So can this be solved? Yes, it is a very simple thing. It can be solved. And actually it is no secret at all. Somebody said, well, you know, we lost the document and all kinds of stuff. No, it is not. It is open in front of our eyes. So tonight we're going to solve it. So let's get into the root. So what is the root? The root is power generations. Power generations. Okay? How you generate your strength. In other words, your body mechanics. Okay? We know if we really go research, investigate into Southern traditional Chinese martial art or Southern Shaolin art. Like the other day, I said that I have shown a video that the Southern Shaolin art, such as White Crane or Ngo Chor, they are using a very unique type of power generations. And one of the mechanics is this. Yo Xin Chun Ka. That is in Fujian. It meaning shaking the body, vibrating the shoulder and shoulder blade. Yo Xin Chun Ka. You look at all the white crane and the ngo jaw, they all use the Yo Xin Chun Ka. Those type of power generations for their body mechanic. They develop that. Okay? So that's Southern Shaolin. Now, Wing Chun is not using that. You can go watch my video on the body condition of the Wing Chun a few days ago. Wing Chun 1850 is using 峨眉12桩蛇形涌动 snake slide worm move, meaning that the big joints is sliding like the snake. The small joint is like the worm moving. The worm, okay? That is the body mechanics or the body conditioning to generate or to handle strength. So the Southern Shaolin shaking the body, vibrating the shoulder or shoulder blade is completely different mechanics with the Wing Chun 1850s mechanic, which is the snake slide worm move, which is sourced from 峨眉. Okay? And this snake slide worm move have a characteristic. It's called Tong Bei. Tong Bei. It means that the arm, the shoulder blade, they are synchronized. They link each other. So the Southern Shaolin is having this shaking stuff, shaking the body and vibrating the shoulder blade stuff. The Wing Chun 1850s is using snake slide worm move, while these two shoulder blades, they are linking together. Okay, so you can look at that. This shoulder blade is helping this shoulder blade is helping that. That is the mechanic required to develop the power generations and power handling of the 1850 Shao Lin Tao or the Wing Chun. Okay, so 1850 Shao Lin Tao, without this, forget about it. You will not be able to generate the power like the Southern Shaolin ngo jaw or white crane. You don't have that power generations. That is the technology. That is the mechanics. So this is uniqueness. Okay? Now we don't say about who is good, who is bad, because we are comparing, we are looking at different mechanics, body mechanics. It's like you're looking at the iOS phone or the Android phone. Okay, not who is better than who or more authentic, those things. No. Now, so this is Southern Shaolin. This is Wing Chun 1850s Shao Lin Tao. If you want to develop your power handling in Shao Lin Tao, you need to be able to do this. You need to use this mechanics, or else it will not work. You will not develop anything. Now, look at the Shao Lin Weng Chun. Notice that this arm is putting on sideways while moving another hand, another arm. Okay, so this is years ago. You see this, the same thing, moving the other arm. You see the same thing while they're moving the other arm. Now, that is a different type of mechanics. Wing Chun 1850, no way using those type of mechanics. because it is this mechanics. Okay? So by just simply looking at the power generation and power handling mechanics, we know, is it actually the southern Shaolin type, like White Crane and Ngozhou? Is it the Hermes Zhuang type? Well, it turns out that this is for sure not the Hermes Zhuang snake slide warm move with the Tong Bei. It is not. Okay? So it is this simple. So technically, we know all this argument for past 60 years is actually adding confusions. As I say that in Chinese, 添乱. You're going to screw up the Chinese martial arts, southern martial arts, because of keeping going around. He says, she says, here says, legend says, grandmaster says. Hey, this is the thing we need to solve. If we don't solve this, you're not be able to generate, to develop the power. Okay? This is what it is. So all this hearsays, this grandmaster think this way, it doesn't matter because this is traditional Chinese martial arts from the south. You like it or not, have to obey this. Otherwise, you will not be able to generate the power. And this is since decades ago, for generations of the practice of Southern or the Shao Lin Weng Chun. This type of techniques or this type of sets is not that. It's not using this mechanics. It's this simple. Why going around for 60 years and maybe go another 60 years? If it's not stopped, this is wasting time. As what I said, everybody, be it Shao Lin Weng Chun or Wing Chun, we all from southern China. You know, martial art wise. We're supposed to be brother, to help each other. Not supposed to get into, oh, your grandmaster copy my grandmaster, I'm better than you. And yet have no idea on all this completely for past 60 years. And still keeping going. How is going to look 50 years later when people find out this? How is it going to look? How is all this grandmaster going to look when this simple thing is not clear at all? That means if this simple thing is not clear, that means one never developed the power generations of that particular art. Period. It's like if we don't even know the engine of the iOS phone or the Android phone, we don't know about it. How are we going to develop anything at all? Okay? So this is very simple stuff. And now they get into one thing. It's called research. For past 20 years, everybody said they are going to do research in Wing Chun, in this and that. What is the research mean? If you really do research, don't you know this? This is clear up there. You can go check in all the Shaolin White Crane writing, the Ngozhou writing, in the Wing Chun 1850s writing, the Hermes Zhuang writing, all is there. So what are you researching? Go interview this guy, have this hearsay, that hearsay, that hearsay. At the end, nobody's sure. What is this? And you say, well, this hand techniques is the same with that hand techniques. Without knowing the content. Why this is getting really ridiculous already? And you know what is the worst? Number one, who lost? Southern Chinese martial art lost. The second, who lost? it turns all the brothers in martial art of the southern China, like the Wing Chun practitioner and the Shao Lin Weng Chun practitioner, into enemy. Instead of all this has to be friend, helping each other. Okay? And then as soon as people say that they do research, then they are like grandmaster. They can say anything they want, but what did they research? If they don't know this, how will they develop their power? We don't talk about who is the best fighter in the world or who's more authentic, I can beat you. We don't. We just talking about simple bolts and nuts. So get this thing straight, okay? Don't think that the entire world is like all dummy. Have no idea on what is traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay? So this is serious stuff. I know Wing Chun people love Wing Chun art. I know the Shao Lin Weng Chun people love Shao Lin Weng Chun art. There's no contradiction there. It's supposed to have each other. Nobody is perfect. So, I hope that this solved this to you. That's why I write this in Chinese, okay? Everybody can go check it. So stop saying that I'm researching this, I'm researching that, when you don't even know this. What do you know if you don't know this? How do you know traditional Chinese martial art if you don't even know this? If you don't know this, you don't know the mechanic, you do not know how to generate power. Period. You go to, say, people like a practitioner like Ngo, they develop that. Even the first year, they develop that. If you go practice really the Wing Chun 1850, you need to use that, otherwise the body will not move. You cannot handle it. Okay? So this is to share with you. This is the time of 2020. We need to really look back to what we are doing. Are we contribute to positive, or we only contribute to 添乱? Okay, everybody fighting, everybody create more confusions. What is that?